Hello and welcome to Call Bing Sports. The Utah Jazz continue their losing streak. As for the third game in a row, they do not have Donovan Mitchell or Rudy Gobert in their lineup, with a loss to the Memphis Grizzlies in Tennessee at a final score of 119 to 109. In what, however, was an amazing game for Danuel House Jr. and might be making him some cash, as he had a final box score of let me pull it up just so I can make sure I'm getting this right. He had his final off the bench in 16 minutes, 7 for 11 from the field, 4 for 6 from three, 3 for 3 from the line, for a final score of 21 points. Only had 2 total rebounds, a couple steals and an assist, but 21 points in 16 minutes is absolutely amazing. He's nearing the end of his second 10-day contract, from my understanding of the league rules. The Jazz are going to have to decide if they want to sign him for the season or let him move on. I'm not sure if they can try to sign him as a hardship exemption or what kind of happens there, but wow, it is that was special to watch. Now, the game was overall pretty rough, but I kind of look at the box score, and my takeaway from this is that, man, the Utah Jazz really need Rudy Gobert. And that's because you look at it and you're like, okay, Jazz had a pretty good game from three, 14 for 46. Same amount of points from the line as the Grizzlies. Jazz did allow 22 points off turnovers, but they got 14 points off of turnovers, so pretty good for them there. And when it came to fast break points, yeah, the Grizzlies won by 11, 29 to 18. But when you look at points in the paint, it is just astounding to me, the difference. The Jazz scored 34 points in the paint to 66 for the Memphis Grizzlies. That's almost double. And without Gobert, you're not only missing your offense in the paint, where he's scoring, 15, 16 points a night. And while some of those are from the line, probably 9 to 10 of those, if not more, are going to be coming from him just dunking or, getting a nice little hook shot in there. And the fact that he's able to defend on the other end and prevent that from happening just shows me how valuable he is, especially in this matchup. Now, I don't want to take away anything from Ja Morant. He is one of the best players in the paint in the league, but he's not going him and the Grizzlies themselves aren't going to be able to have as good a night like they did tonight with Rudy Gobert on the court. And frankly, the Jazz just don't have Gobert right now, and hopefully he'll be back soon, but we don't know when he'll be back. And so when the Jazz are not only missing that offensive and defensive presence in the paint, but you're not able to have the spark plug that is Donovan Mitchell, and you're not able to count on, at least 20 points from him in a night, if not closer to 30 or 30 plus, it's just going to be rough, and it's going to be a hard game for the Jazz to win. And they had some good performances from other players, but House was the only player who got 20 plus. A lot of other 5 other players put up double digits, but the Jazz need more from offense, need more on offense. And while I definitely think that the players they currently have are able to play that kind of second fiddle to Donovan, none of them are really cut out to be the number one option. And that is definitely concerning for the Jazz going forward. We know that we can't just expect the team to be healthy in the playoffs, but I really think that that's the only way that the Jazz are going to be able to win the finals. And you look at last year, where maybe the Bucks were missing someone, but the Bucks and Suns both got incredibly lucky with injuries. They're both elite, amazing teams, but I do think that it could have been a very different finals matchup had everyone been healthy. And the Suns had Chris Paul, and he wasn't 100%, and Giannis, was maybe not at 100%. Like, there was that moment, I think, in the Nets series where it looked like he was going to be out for the rest of the playoffs. But dang, it was amazing to watch that happen. And we've seen how much health matters and how much the best ability is availability. It's such a cliche statement, but I really do think it's true. Like, the Nets didn't have Kyrie or Harden last year in the playoffs. And this year they're missing Kyrie. Like, you need your players to be able to play. And the Jazz have not had availability as of late. And that has really hurt them as a team. And like I said, the Grizzlies are a good team. I mean, you had Ja Morant put up 30 points on 10 of 22 shooting. Like, he's a really good player. Jaren Jackson Jr. had a really good night, 8 for 11 from the field. Now, 7 of those makes were 2-pointers that he would have had to get by Rudy Gobert. And again, just looking at it, I think that the Jazz have shown over these last few games where you don't have Gobert that you need Gobert. Now, they've done a great job hanging in it. I don't want to discredit the team, but this team is elite because of Rudy Gobert. And this team is elite because of Donovan Mitchell. And yeah, there's been some struggles this season, but every team has struggles. Like the Lakers didn't look like they were going to do well. And then all of a sudden in the bubble, they did great. And yeah, these last couple of years have been rough for them. But a playoff run from the Lakers, if they're able to make a move or two, wouldn't surprise me just because they have elite players. I don't think it's a good combination of elite players, but they have elite players. And the Utah Jazz have elite players. I think there's a lot of potential in the combination. We've seen that before, and they just need to be on the court together to improve. So I'm hoping they're able to get things back together, hopefully before the All-Star break, but at the very minimum, that they can tough it out till the All-Star break and be able to come back and prepare for playoff basketball, hopefully be able to snag home court and just see what comes of it. So thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it, especially after a tough loss like this one. If you could please leave a like wherever you're at, follow and comment. We love to continue the conversation after our videos are out. And please, Dale and I are going to have a video coming out on Saturday that's probably going to touch on where the Jazz are at now and some of the all-star selection stuff, like how on earth does Andrew Wiggins, no matter how well he's played this year, how is he a starter? We'll touch on all that. So thanks so much for watching, and go Jazz.